Thank you for tuning in to our PPP. We ain't talking about the PPP. Did you get a PPP loan, Kev?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
You had businesses.
Absolutely not.
Employees. Why would
I'm no part of the federal government. No.
Done?
Hey, I can respect it. No.
So I guess I'm the only one that got a PPP. But listen, this isn't the PPP loan, y'all. This is the Atlanta Voice News presents the Prosperity Playbook podcast. And we have the legendary Mr. Kevin Edwards. Thank you for being here.
Wow, you so kind. Legendary?
I think so. So listen, guys, winter is coming was the theme and concept of the popular HBO series Game of Thrones. For seasons that show push the ideology of preparation. In 2023, former President Barack and wife Michelle Obama produced yet another warning, which was leave the world behind. The word bunker has cast a spell on the celebrity community. And for those who are not woke, will not know that winter is indeed coming and we should be thinking more and more about leaving the world behind. Robert Kiyosaki warned that millions of 401ks and IRAs will be toast this year if there's a downturn in the market. So here's the thing, y'all. Winter is always going to come. It's always ice cold. There are no leaves on the trees. The grass is brown and everything that once was is gone. No matter how much you try to keep warm, it's cold the entire 3 months. Well, in some places. This is when animals hibernate because even they have enough sense to know to prepare for this cycle. Now, because winter brings the energy of preparation, processing and planning happens in the season for most. When you follow the laws of nature, you understand cycles and the application to how you're supposed to apply this to your life skills. Winter is coming is indeed an oxymoron because it comes every 3 seasons. Because technology has sped up time and consciousness, you must be prepared for all winter cycles. If you don't, my friends, the future is expensive. So that's the name of our episode. The future is expensive.
That was deep.
Thank you. I
That
wrote
was
that myself.
real good.
Thank you so much. I'm a writer, just FYI. So let's jump right into your episode, Kevin. So I wanted to kind of talk about the future being expensive because of your extensive resume and everything is that your mindset?
Man, it is. I mean, you know, what it took to be successful back like 23 years ago when I started entrepreneurship, that price has doubled, tripled, even quadrupled. You know, people don't understand that the grind is different. When I started back in 2001, when I was 31 years old, you know, I started the grind of entrepreneurship. Right now is so much different, you know, the cost of everything, even the cost of knowledge. You know, they charging people for knowledge now.
Yeah,
you know, we got all our game for free.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I really want to start giving it back for free.
Absolutely.
You know, we got too many people standing in front of the mic and standing in front of IGs and stuff like that really doesn't know what they're talking about, you know. And it's a culture of people who are getting misinformation.
Absolutely.
You know?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So we really got to understand that what it took to grind back then, back in 2000 when I started grinding, it's a different grind in 2024.
Yep.
Absolutely. So the cost of living, especially like $50,000 back in when you were 31, how far could that get you? Like, were you in the middle class?
Man, when you know, back when I was 31, I had my last job with the city.
Okay.
You know, and I probably made $76,000, you know, which was a good living then, you know. But I used to always talk to people about, you know, I'm gonna be a millionaire, you know. And I used to run around City Hall always telling people, I'm gonna be a millionaire, I'm gonna be a millionaire. You know, and then one guy pulled me aside. He said, you know, young fella, you talking a good game. You know, when I started with the city, I was 23 years old.
Okay.
And I worked for the city for 7 years.
Okay.
And man, I used to be a jitterbug running around City Hall saying I want to be rich. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But the guy pulled me, he said, now you tell me what you're gonna do to make $84,000 a month. I said, $84,000 a month? What is that? He's like, that's what it costs to be a millionaire.
Exactly. Yeah.
I said, 84,000. I'm making $76,000 a year, and you talking about $84,000 a month, and that's where the preparation came in at. You know, People don't understand that you can't go from $76,000 a year to $84,000 a month unless you athlete or get a rap contract or something like that. But the normal 90% of the entrepreneurs, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We have to stair step it.
Yes.
And that's what people in this society right now, the younger generation, don't understand. It's not microwave.
Yes.
It's all stair stepping. You got to be able to stair step your way to $84,000.
Yeah.
So it triggered me. It triggered me, and it left a lasting impression on me. And the impression was, what can I do? What will be my mantra to be able to be successful? And I looked around, and I said, emulation is the biggest form of flattery. If you emulate somebody, you flatter, but it's the easiest way to success too.
Exactly.
People don't understand. The Dodge brothers work for Ford.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lyft copied Uber.
Lyft did copy Uber. It was
did.
a girl. She literally worked for Uber, and she said they stole most of her ideas, so she went out and started Lyft.
Yeah. So it's things out there where people have already made the path. You think about it. They always made the wheel circular. They never try to make it square. They never try to make it triangular. They always made it circular. But what they did, they added more width to it. They added more spokes. And then they created what we call the run flat. And that's what I try to be, the run flat.
Okay.
I try to be the guy who has made that tire without changing everything the best it could be.
That's what's up.
And so when that happened, when I thought about it, and I thought about how was I going to become successful, how was I going to be able to make 84 grand a month, it clicked.
So you're talking about the process. And when people be like, trust the process, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you got to trust the process because when you it's like riding a bike. Success is like riding a bike. You fall off,
Right.
you get back up. You're gonna have more failures than anything. But guess what? The failures can't outweigh your success. You see what I'm saying?
Keep going.
People, it's just like riding a bike. So when I was posed to that with that question, what I was gonna do, I was in my senior year at Georgia State. My last quarter, because we were doing quarters then, it wasn't semesters. I was in my last quarter, working at the city as an entry-level accountant. I used to always go to this payday loan service and borrow money to get my books.
That's the worst thing to do.
Yeah. I used to always do that. Like before, if you're in college and you're putting yourself through college, and you don't have anybody backing you.
Do you have student loans?
No more. No more. No more. And they've been expired. We've been got rid of those.
Right.
Yeah, but when you're in college and you don't have anybody to send you money, you got to make your way. So I used to always go and get a payday loan to buy my books because my checks would never come the same time it was time to pay for my books. But then when I got my check, my Pell Grant and everything, I didn't go pay it back.
Right.
So when I used to go to the payday loan people, I used to always be like, damn, the people don't want to really be seen in these places, but it's a lot of money. The guy whose father used to own the payday loan company was in my class at Georgia State. I asked him, I said, hey man, your daddy does well with the payday loans? He like, yeah, man, he not even paying attention to why I'm asking him and stuff like that. But I said, that seemed like a lucrative business. That last quarter, I got $10,000 rebate from my student loans and my Pell Grant. I started doing payday loans because what I understood was people didn't want to be seen at those type of places, but they needed the money. They was embarrassed that they needed $300.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I took the guesswork out of coming to the office and everything. I show up at your job and give you the money. You tell me to meet you at your house. I go to your house and give you the money. But it gave me a chance to become an entrepreneur and understand. I grew that business at 25 grand a month.
Oh my God.
25 grand a month. It was so, you never realize what you can do when you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I was going to get to 84 still.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm at City Hall working. I'm working. I go get my mom from the airport. She coming from New Orleans. She say, baby, we got to ride around all the time and pick up all these checks and all this money. When are we going to go to the house?
Is that where you're from?
I'm from New Orleans. Born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hear the I don't hear the twang. I don't hear the oucha.
It's
We
gone.
oucha.
It's gone. You know, if we had a group of New Orleans people here,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll come out.
come on.
Easily.
It'll be all the way out.
You referenced the city so much, and when I had the opportunity to find out that you did agree to do this with us, I was able to Google you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to speak to what people will find about
Yeah,
you working for the city? Like you just
So you know, my people in New Orleans say I'm really from Atlanta because I have more roots here in Atlanta. I developed more relationships and everything, you know.
Mhm.
But I did a lot of things with the city. I was the youngest chief senior budget analyst. I
Okay.
ran for city council.
Oh,
You know, all
wow.
all of the
So you were in
above.
politics.
Yeah,
Big t-
Yeah, you
basically,
get into
yeah,
it. Yeah.
basically, you know what I mean? I got a lot of politician friends,
okay.
you know. So, you know, I mean, with that being said, you know, back in 2010 to 12, you know, when everybody, all this, the hoopla was going on with the city and people getting caught up in city politics with bribes and stuff like that, I got caught up.
Were you caught up or because they're saying that you stole $600,000, Kevin?
I didn't steal. I didn't steal it. That's the first thing.
Okay.
I didn't steal it.
Have you ever been able to address this?
Yes, it was even addressed in the court. The judge and the prosecutor, if you look in my transcripts, they also say I didn't steal it. So
Okay.
it was really misappropriation of government funds. So what happened was, back in 2010 and 2012,
Mm-hmm.
I had this one city contract where I had 80% of it.
Okay.
Right? They were looking for ways to try to get the current mayor involved in
Which was Shirley Franklin.
No,
No?
it wasn't Shirley. 2010,
2010. How old was I then? That was so I'm 43 now.
It was the legendary Kasim Reed.
Kasim Reed. It was
Yeah,
after.
the
Okay.
legendary Kasim
Okay.
Reed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you know, and I got 80% of this one contract with my
Okay.
relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to find people who were connected to him. Sent the federal auditor down because the contract was federally funded.
Mm-hmm.
When they sent the federal auditor down, the auditor revealed that I had 80% of the contract. They
Okay.
immediately gave my name and my companies to the feds.
Oh wow.
Because they knew they figured that
you had that
if I had 80% of the contracts, somebody gave them to me, which I didn't. I just had my own relationships back when I was in City Hall. When I was in City Hall, I made a lot of relationships where people, when I left in 2001, was still there. So they've been there from 94 to 2012 back then. So they all in position of power.
Yeah.
Right.
So when they brought me in, the feds brought me in, asked me a bunch of questions. I couldn't answer them because Kasim didn't know I got the contracts, and I didn't know what he was doing.
Right.
So when that happened, it pissed him off.
Okay.
It pissed him off that I didn't have any information to give him. And I walked into the office, me and my attorney. My face is on the picture, right? My face is here, and their face are over here, and he asking me how did you connect?
Yeah, what's the connection?
Yeah. I didn't have no connection for it because it wasn't.
Okay.
I didn't even know I had gotten the contracts until it hit the news in the newspaper.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
See if it sticks.
so it didn't. So once that didn't happen and they couldn't have, they pulled out these federally books. So I had the contracts in 2010 to 2012. They came see me in 2014. So 2 years had gone by, and I don't have any paperwork on what all the stuff they're asking.
Right.
Pulled out all these books and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Asked me, did I do this, buy this, and this? I couldn't answer them. I didn't have it. So they charged me with misappropriation of government funds.
Did you have to do time?
I did.
So coming off of that to being who you are now, tell us that journey. Like, how did you turn that awful situation? Because it was ignorance on your behalf, not knowing what to say or how to move when it came to this type of situation. How do you come and own Like 2 hungry as fucks.
No, 5.
5?
Sheesh.
5 hungries.
It's 5 hungries. You got opium, you got Tulum, you got
Sea salt.
sea salt, you had crave, you had
Crave, capture, indigo bar, cafe circa. But see, I had all that stuff before I went in.
serial entrepreneurs. What I see,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, y'all. Let me tell y'all the dress code. All black. So tell us about that journey from that awful experience to now, who you are and where you are.
So what before I went in back in 2012, I opened my first nightclub, the Indigo Bar on Edgewood. Then we started acquiring different properties. I acquired Cafe Circa, Orem, Red Ultra Lounge, Crave, Capture, and then I acquired Opium that was on Spring Street. And while I was dealing with my problems with the Fed, I was still moving. I was still doing it because none of my money was tied to
those things.
I had money before then.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Making $25,000 in college, loaning people money.
Loaning.
Exactly.
And then when I left City Hall, and from 2001 to 2008, that's why I said success is like riding a bike. From 2001 to 2008, I was the second largest minority home builder in Atlanta.
Yeah, you built what, 365 homes?
306, all on the south side. You go on the south, the subdivisions, all on the south
They
side.
was trying to stop your greatness.
Yeah. Well, the economy stopped my greatness.
What, 2008?
2008, the market crashed.
Yeah, it did.
And I went from having everything to nothing.
Does that happen more than we know?
Man, it happened so much more than everybody knows. Walt Disney went bankrupt 5 times.
Delta.
Right.
Delta, before they became who they are, it's crazy. Chick-fil-A.
Right.
He went broke. So, if you are successful and you have something that you stand on, and what I stand on is success is made by emulation. So when the market crashed in 2008, I went from sometimes I was making $250,000 a month.
So you surpassed the 84,000.
Yeah.
When did you surpass the 84,000 a month?
When I was 33.
That's the Jesus year, huh?
Yeah. 33 years old.
Yeah.
So what that was my second full year of building houses. So in 2008 when the market crashed, it was like, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. This is when I knew I had to really like figure it out, right? So I go in the bank, Bank of America. I have like 360,000 in Bank of America. That's my fallback money.
And that was in your checking account?
In my checking account. That's my fallback money.
Is that safe? Let's talk about this real quick. Should you have 360,000 in a checking account?
Yeah.
A business checking account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I it's in there, right? I go in the bank. So I know I go to sleep, wake up. I say I got to go to the bank because I want to take some of that money out before I need it because we bleeding everywhere, I go to the bank. I'm thinking it's $360,000 in there. I go to the bank. It's $27 in there.
Oh man.
What happened? What happened to the
60,000.
Yeah, 360. I was trying to
Bank of America
subtract.
got a clause. So Bank of America held my subdivisions. They held like 3 of my subdivisions, and they held the notes on 3 of my subdivisions. And on all 3 of them, I was like 6 months late.
Oh man.
It's a clause in your loan with Bank of America that if you have money in their bank
they're taking that,
and your loans are behind,
they can take it.
They could take the money.
That is sick.
So tell us about the emotional intelligence you had to deal with when you found out that money was gone.
I was heartbroken.
Did you go into like a state of depression just a little bit?
No.
You had to keep going.
Because guess what? It's still people depending on me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I need to figure out my next move.
What was your pivot?
So what I did was I had 250 grand left. I went down to New Orleans, back where I was from, tried to open my first nightclub. Everything's going good. I said, okay, we gonna do this, right? Open my first nightclub. It's not even open a month. Somebody gets shot on the dance floor.
Oh man.
Did the person die?
Yeah.
Dang.
So what we
And that's
do?
bad press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fight all the way to get to Essence Festival, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say I'm gonna get to Essence Festival, which was 9 months away. Get to Essence Festival. I'm gonna make all the money I can make, and then I'm gonna come back to Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna come back to Atlanta. Get to Essence Festival. Nothing.
Oh man.
Nothing. Nothing. So I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
So I take the little money I got, which is about $2,500, come back to Atlanta. And I'm like, what the hell I'm gonna do now? So me, my kids come back to Atlanta. Me and my two kids, my two grown kids now, come back to Atlanta. We moved right off of Turner Field. One of my boys was building a house, right? So we going from Bentleys, high rises, everything to a house that's not even finished now. We living in a house where the power is not even connected, the water. So I get one of my guys, I call him, I say, hey man, can you connect this power for me? He connects the power. Get one of my other guys, hey, can you connect this water for me? So right now, we in the middle of a house that's halfway done with power and water, not nowhere. What I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna go get another job. I can easily take my degree and my background, but what that's gonna do for me?
Yeah.
It's gonna hinder me
Exactly.
being
How
able
you
to
move.
get my full potential. Right?
Yes.
So when you have money, everybody always think you always have money.
Right.
My dad called me. He said, right now I'm on E when we get back up here. My dad calls me. He says, hey man, I've been looking at these shrimp down in New Orleans and down in West Wego, which is a small part of New Orleans, where I can buy them for 99 cents a pound and sell them for like $6 a pound, right? I said, oh yeah. He said, man, I want you to come down here and check it out. And if you like it, loan me some money, to get the thing. I said, I'm gonna come down there, right? So I got a buddy pass. I have a companion pass.
Yeah.
Fly down to New Orleans, right? Call one of my boys. I'm broke. So I say, man, don't you owe me $300? Pick me up at the airport. I need that $300, right? He picks me up from the airport. He got the $300. He said, man, you looking kind of like you stressed or something. I said, yeah, give me 2 more with that, right?
Yeah.
So we go down to the shrimp. We look at the shrimp and stuff. I tell my daddy, I said, I'm going to buy something for me. I'm going to buy something for you, right? I'm looking at it and I say, okay. So I get back to Atlanta. I take the shrimp that I have. The Delta lets you fly 50 pounds, 250-pound luggage, which I used as coolers for free. I'm with a companion pass. I fly the shrimp back. I'm in the house. My daughter in there, she's about 15 at the time. Talking to my son, which he's about 10. Mom, what they 5 years apart. So he's like 10. He's talking about, I don't know what's going on with daddy. We don't live like this. We ain't the house smelling like shrimp. The house smelling like shrimp and stuff. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I got a Bentley, brand new Bentley, right? Load up the Bentley with the shrimp in the back. I go to every barber and beauty salon on Candler Road to sell these shrimp. Sell these shrimp, sell out of them, go back down to New Orleans, sell them, sell out of them, sell them, sell out of them.
Flipping shrimp.
You was flipping shrimp?
Flipping shrimp for 3 months. 3 months.
That's the first.
What? So how much money did you make doing that?
We made enough money to get back on our feet.
Okay.
So I'm in a English Racing Green Bentley Continental GT riding down Hamilton Road with shrimp in the back, selling them. Candler Road, Camilton Road. Then I go up Old National. Then I come back down Highway 85, selling shrimp.
See, these are stories they don't talk about on Instagram. All we do is see the you in front of the Bentley, but we didn't know shrimp was in the back.
in the back seat. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
So it was so it wasn't ambition, it was lack that became your motivation.
That's right. So I always tell everybody, in order to be successful, number 2 thing you need to have is a why.
Right.
If you don't have a why to stand on, And your why could be as simple as your kids, your mom. But if you don't have a why to stand on, why you want to be successful, you'll never get to the plateau you want to get to, you know? And back then, back when I was at City Hall, I also learned my third thing. It's the biggest thing that people don't understand is when you have a dream, the first thing you do is you run to your nearest person that you know, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. But they cannot realize what your dream is because they don't have that dream, first of all.
Right.
And secondly, they never lived where you want to be at. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you never can talk to somebody about making $84,000 a month that never made $30,000 a year.
Exactly.
That's right.
And that's our biggest
right.
downfall. We go
Yes.
run straight to the dream stealers.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they take your
The
dream.
negative Nancy's, the Debbie Downers.
But see, people don't realize this part either. They don't mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing they try to do is look out for you. They
Yeah.
scared.
They scared.
Yeah. It's
Their
the program.
fear stifles
Exactly.
them.
It's not hate. They scared of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like what the Bible said. You got to be around people that's equally yoked.
Right.
You got to be around people with the same mindset of you to be successful. If you want to be successful, you got to get around people who done this, who had the same dream as you. You know, I don't want to stand around anybody and talk about any kind of money with somebody who ain't make no money.
Absolutely.
Because they got more opinions about something that they've never done
Than facts.
than anything
else. So speaking of that,
Go
you're doing great
ahead.
with the
Go
questions.
for real.
But so did you have who were your mentors as you were coming out of City Hall and as you were going on your entrepreneurship journey?
You know what, man? I didn't have any mentors. I just watched people from afar. I emulated people from afar. Like with the club industry, now me and him we friends now, but we weren't friends then.
Who is that?
Me and Alex get around AG.
Yeah.
We were back and forth, knocking each other heads, didn't want. I was emulating everything he was doing. He couldn't even see me coming from Edgewood. I was in an 1,800 square foot building in Edgewood talking about I'm going to be rivaling Compound in a minute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm watching everything he's doing. I'm listening to everything everybody's saying. But I was developing my own, the own way I want to do things. You know what I'm saying? People really put too much emphasis on mentorship. Mentorship is good. But a lot of the mentors that you're looking for, they so busy.
Yeah, exactly.
They ain't got time.
And everything's so public now. You can just
you
just look at how people move. Yeah.
But see, and the thing about it too is you have all these people standing in front of Instagram doing these podcasts.
Right.
That really has never when somebody tell me, oh, I want you to come listen to this person. Tell me what they've really done. Let me see their pedigree. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these people out here saying they this person, that person.
And charging $10,000 for classes.
That's what we doing. We gonna do it for free. I'm about to have a seminar for free. You know what I'm saying? Restaurant, nightclub, nightlife, real estate, 2 for free. Anybody, I show you how to make all the money in the world for free. I don't want nothing from you.
So let's talk about this: financial myths and misconceptions. What are some of the biggest myths and misconceptions people have about money and finances?
That you don't need it. You know, everybody say, you know, money isn't everything, but it's right there next to oxygen.
Exactly.
It is.
You know,
it doesn't make you happy, but you need it to pay them light bills, that mortgage. You put gas in your car, food in your stomach.
You need it. You need it. So everybody. My thing I try to tell people is $1 only spends once. You can only spend that $1 once. Spend it carefully. You know what I'm saying? But I tell my kids this, and they get a kick out of this. And you know, I really mean this from my heart. Each of my kids have $1 million policies on me. Each one, 3. So it's three of them. 3. When they came of age, my son, he's 26 now. I told him you could take out another one on me, as long as you pay the premium. My daughter said, I told her the same thing. You know, they hadn't taken advantage of it yet, but they will. You know, but I'm gonna spend every dollar that I make. I'm leaving nothing. I'm gonna leave them a business. I work too hard. I've done too much. I've taken penitentiary chances. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
And I'm gonna spend every last dollar that I make.
Wait.
They're gonna have life insurance policies. They're gonna have businesses.
Yeah.
They could put money away from me now. They could call me and say, "Hey, Daddy, give me $10,000. Put it away."
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But me,
So your legacy is going to be in
assets.
Not
That's
money.
how it should be.
That's right.
So
I've never seen a Wells Fargo truck behind going. You bury me and then bury Wells Fargo truck or Brinks truck right in the same. I've never seen that.
Right.
Because guess what? They gonna mess it up. Somebody down the line gonna mess it up.
Should you save money for somebody else to spend up and do whatever they want to do when you hardly So look, does it matter if you have made $500 million? Would you leave something behind then or no?
I can't spend that much. You can't.
Okay.
You can't
It's just
spend
way
it.
too much.
So once I get to that level where and we with this hungry right here, it's gonna take. It's the modern day McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's going.
I love y'all saying
it takes little money to do. We put them in all the right locations, and they're making just as much as a McDonald's you see, or just as much as a Burger King. Burger King can't touch us.
Are you going to franchise this outside of Atlanta?
We're gonna go outside Atlanta, but we're not gonna franchise. We really taking the Chick-fil-A. We're taking the Chick-fil-A approach on it.
Okay.
I really the goal is I want to get $100 million evaluation on this.
Yeah.
Once I get $100 million evaluation, we'll start looking to see if we're gonna do franchises.
Okay.
We really, really serious about having the path and the direction on where we want to go with this brand. You know? So, Study Vegan got a $125 million valuation.
So y'all not trying to reach for the unicorn status? Unicorn status is $1 billion valuation.
We want $1 billion, but like I tell everybody, you got to stair step it.
Right.
Yeah.
So my goal is I can't see $1 billion yet.
Yeah.
I've never touched $1 billion yet.
Right.
So I want to touch 100 million first.
Okay.
Touch 10, touch 20.
Yeah.
But I want to touch 100 first. Once I touch 100, then I could start focusing on 500.
Yeah.
Then once I focus on 500, Chick-fil-A is worth $14 billion now. They started with some chicken sandwiches that Truett Cathy got from his friend at Delta on a catering expedition. Truett Cathy used to take to cater Delta. His friend was the head person at Delta that hired all the caterers. He had 250 chicken breasts one time left over. He called Truett. He said, "Hey, I got these chicken breasts, 250 of them. Do you have something you could do with it?" Truett said, "Yeah, let me come get them." He went get them. Guess what he did with them? Sold them. No, he went to Waffle House and sold his chicken sandwiches out of Waffle Houses. So the early Waffle Houses, you'll see them and say Waffle Houses featuring the chicken sandwich.
Wow.
People don't know that.
No, they don't. Y'all know now though.
I'm saying.
So when he did that, his chicken sandwich started getting so much bigger than Waffle House. Waffle House kicked him out of there. That's when you got Greenbrier Mall and you got Hayville.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So people don't understand when you're going to fall in the blessing. He fell in the blessing with them 250 chicken breasts.
Yeah.
But he knew what to do with them.
Yeah.
You see, people, you get the opportunity. You were talking about winter is coming. But people don't understand when winter is coming, that's your time to sow.
Yes. And I feel you said something so profound, which is sometimes that was his blessing. This right here is our blessing.
That's right.
This literally fell in our lap.
That's right.
Literally.
That's right.
So you have to understand though, even though it fell in our laps, what was she doing before she started sitting on the couch asking people personal business and finding out about their money and stuff? I was sowing seeds.
That's
I was
right.
creating energy currency for myself.
That's right.
So
That's right.
you have to understand in the journey of entrepreneurship and financial literacy that you got to put the work in.
That's
It's a
right.
process.
That's right.
I look 25, but I'm 43 years old.
Yeah, you look well. You
43
look real
years
good.
old. It took me 43 years to get to where I'm sitting on this couch talking to somebody like yourself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. What challenges do you deal the most? Saving, budgeting, debt, or investing? Which
All of them challenges, because we're
okay.
constantly growing. So we're
Right.
constantly acquiring debt and investing money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't really get real good budgets because it's people don't understand growing a business being black
Mm-hmm.
is different from growing a business being white. And I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but
No.
they have they go in like Tulum. It cost me a $1.6 million to do right.
Okay.
But that was all money out of my pocket. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
go to the bank and say,
Ask for
hey,
that
I
loan.
have this
Even
idea.
at the level where you are now?
No,
Really?
they not giving it. They not giving it. They not giving it.
That's disheartening.
And
That
see,
is so discouraging.
so when we with where we are now in the
Mm-hmm.
game. So we come from nightclubs.
Mm-hmm.
And banks don't want to touch nightclubs.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't
It's
know
a
what's
huge
going on.
risk,
Yeah.
So when we transferred into the restaurant industry,
which is smart.
it's different.
Mhm.
Now next 4 or 5 years, we'll go and get all the money we want.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Our
Mhm.
books will be the way it needs to be and everything. But we had good books and everything with the nightclubs.
Right.
But they don't.
That's the type of business they just
They
shut it
don't.
down.
They shy away from that.
Okay.
So
You see what I'm saying?
speaking of restaurants and nightclubs, how do you manage those? Because those are two industries that are just like they take people out.
So what you always you got to go in. I always go in with my accounting hat on. Everything I
You
do.
are a former accountant.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah.
Everything I look at is dollar. You see people who fail. You see athletes and entertainers who get in the restaurant at night because they just want to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I make my money.
You looking at
Yeah.
balance.
So we looking for this not where they make their money. They
Right.
this just something that they fell in they wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we look at everything from a number perspective. When I started building houses, my mama I tell you, it's so funny. She said this boy has never touched a hammer or a nail, but I could put it on paper and make it make sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, when I put it on paper and make it make sense,
Mm-hmm.
I know where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everything is numbers.
Right.
Everything is
Yes,
numbers.
it is.
If you could teach or give insight on financial literacy, what exactly would it be? Like the people that are watching this right now, what would you tell them when it comes to financial literacy?
See, that's a hard one for me because true entrepreneurs are real gamers. We real gamblers. We take taking
risks.
all the risks. So anything, and that's why people always look at you was an accountant, you have a degree in accounting, you worked at the city as I'm not conservative.
Yeah, and
Right.
You know,
accountants are more what's the word I want to use? They
they,
use a lot of methodology. Like
they
they're
traditional
like
methodology.
Necole, like
Yeah.
this number says we can't do this, so we're not gonna and you're
And a lot of them are
entrepreneurs is
conservative.
yeah, very
Yeah.
conservative.
So any true entrepreneur,
Yeah.
it's hard for them to talk about financial literacy and being able to save and being able to do this and do that because we don't live our life like that.
Right.
Every chance we get, we're going to take that chance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to calculate it. Guess what? But if it seems like we have a window to win,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to try to take that window and slide through that door and make a win. You know what I'm saying?
There's a misconception with this whole financial literacy talk because we feel like we're behind the 8 ball because we don't have enough saved or because we don't do what we're supposed to do with our money when we get it. How do we debunk that myth? Like, how do we speak to that when it comes to people in our community?
Well, when it comes to so let me let me give you a perfect example on how people outside of the entrepreneurial realm really should handle their business. You know,
Okay.
like you should have X amount in 3 months of saving. You should be able to live in a house that's only 25% of your income, you know, all those things, you know, that's not what I can teach.
Mm.
If you want to make some money and you're going to take some chances, that's
You
what I
can teach
teach.
that.
I'm going to teach you
That's
how
not
to
how
do
you.
that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you all the rules. I'm going to give you everything, all the pitfalls and everything. You know, and like I always tell everybody, I'm going to give you the whole picture. You decide if you can handle it.
Do you think we're trying to be like other cultures by having this financial literacy talk, or do you think that it's still necessary in our
I think we
community?
should be like other cultures in the way we help people.
Unity.
That's right.
Mhm.
We at the bottom of the totem pole with that.
Right.
Yeah.
All my young brothers around me, I try to put them all on. You don't. I got this quote on my Instagram say, "If I put you on, you don't owe me nothing.
Period.
You don't owe me a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I want to do is see you do good,
Yeah.
That's
because
real.
my blessing comes from you doing good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I get my blessings from helping people. I tell everybody, I want to do two things. I want to help a lot of people and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the two things I want to
I
do.
want to make an impact while I'm making a lot of money.
Exactly.
That's how I want to become a millionaire.
You know,
Brill, did you have any other questions for him?
No, you took it all away.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, this is great.
My
I mean,
bad.
no,
So
this,
listen, we're gonna have some fun now.
let's go.
Get all that other financial literacy stuff.
Mhm.
So, old money or new money?
Old money.
Tell us why.
Old money, because guess what? If you got some old money, that means you know how to keep up with a dollar. If you
Okay.
got new money,
Spend
and you're
quick.
spending it
Yeah,
quick.
you know
I,
what
I tell everybody, I don't want nothing old around me but my money.
We
that's
know.
that's real.
You made that clear. Could you live without music or TV?
Ooh,
That's tough.
that's a tough one. I could live without TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, music really motivates me.
And
I listen to everything from Miley Cyrus to what's this guy? I got this new song that I like. Watermelon Sugar High. I think his name is Harry, but it's a great song. I love it.
Okay.
I listen.
Okay.
I love Lucci. I love Jay-Z.
Of course.
I love. I
And
can
his
listen.
wife Beyonce. I love you, girl.
You know,
Uh-huh.
it motivates me. I listen to this one Lucci song every day. I got you. If I say I got you, I got you.
So music is a universal language,
Yeah.
and it has a frequency. I'm very big on spiritual things, right? So it has a frequency sometimes that speaks to your spirit. And I think I would choose music too.
Yeah.
In a conversation, would you rather have the first word or the last word? And why?
In a conversation, I would. I just want to have the middle. I want to hear what you got to say. Respond. I like to listen to people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I really like to
Yeah.
listen. I like to listen to what people perspectives on life. Some of them I think is woof, and some of them I think profound. You know.
Yes.
So if either one of those, I would just like the middle ground. You know. You talk to me, I say what I say, and then I listen to you again. You know what I'm saying?
Last question. What advice would you give to your 21-year-old self?
Ooh. Man,
From where you're sitting at now.
my 21-year-old self, I would have to tell him it's some limits to some things. You know,
Okay.
my problem in life, I'm not scared of
You
nothing.
fearless.
I'm not scared of nothing. You know, when I was growing up, it was two things when I got in a fight. Either you gonna beat me or I'm gonna beat you.
Right.
And I'm not scared of either one of those. And I think that's been my successful part of me.
Yeah.
But that's been the bad part of me too. Because I'm not scared to take any kind of chance.
So what would you tell yourself now? Don't be scared, or be scared a little bit, or there's limits.
There's limits.
Okay.
There's limits.
There's limits, y'all.
There's limits.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Love this conversation with Kevin Edwards.
Thank you.
Amazing
Thank you for
guy.
having me.
And we'll see y'all next week. All right. Okay. That was good. Oh.
Thank you for having me.